welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I am Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Okay, so today's episode is a doubleheader. You got a lot today. Okay, we got a post-fight show for Lamas versus Mendes, UFC Fight Night, and then we get a pre-fight show for UFC Fight Night, Crow Cop versus Gonzaga 2, the rematch of the century in heavyweight division. Yeah, so I'll do a quick rundown of the post-fight recap of the main card of Lamas versus Mendes, Mendes versus Lamas, whatever you want to call it. Okay, man, great exciting card, 6-fight main card. Yeah, so in the main event, in the featherweight division, we had Chad Money Mendes versus Ricardo the Bully Lamas. And I wanted Chad Mendes to win this. I thought he would win it, and he did. First round, TKO punches. Yeah, it was a quick fight. It finished up roughly midway into the first round. So that was a featherweight clash, and Chad Mendes, he's still in title contention right now. Then on the co-main event, we had a lightweight clash with Ally Quinta and Jorge Masvidal. And wow, yeah, I called this one right too. Ally Quinta won by decision split. It was a tough, grueling fight. I can see how Al won this fight though because of his leg kicks. But a lot of people were upset, including Jorge, because he felt like he won the fight. Yeah, it wasn't too bad of a fight though. Not too boring. And then also in the lightweight division, we had Michael Chiesa versus Mitch Clark, and Michael Chiesa won by decision unanimous. And it was, yeah, pretty much 29-28, and then 29-26. And yeah, Michael Chiesa, he found his reach, found his distance well, used his footwork, and he kept moving around and kept Mitch Clark guessing. I think it was a good, smart move on Michael Chiesa's part. Yeah, then in the women's bantamweight division, we had Juliana Pena versus Milana Dudieva. Yeah, this was TKO punches and elbows. First round, she got her in the mount. Juliana got Dudieva in the mount and just ground and pounded her until the ref pulled her off. That's kind of Juliana's signature finish, because that's how she finished some of her previous opponents on The Ultimate Fighter en route to winning the show. Yeah, Juliana Pena, I think she's definitely a top tier talent in the women's bantamweight division. I think she could be fighting for the belt before you know it. Yeah, then in another featherweight clash on the main card, we had Clay Guida versus Robbie Peralta. And yeah, this was a decision unanimous win for Clay Guida, and he uses wrestling a lot. He got a lot of takedowns throughout all 3 rounds, and just kept pushing the pace, and he looked great. I was pretty impressed with Clay Guida's performance, and he was right on the post-fight post-fight interview. He said that he has beat Anthony Pettis before, and it's he's looking for super fights, so that's understandable. Yeah, then to kick off the main card in the lightweight division, we had Dustin the Diamond Poirier versus Carlos Diego Ferreira, and this was a first round KO punches victory for Dustin. And yeah, Dustin looked great at lightweight, moving back up to lightweight. I think it was a smart move for him for now, but when he gets to the top 5, top 10 lightweights in that division, then things could get pretty interesting. That's where I really want to see, can he hang with the top guys at lightweight. because the top guys in featherweight was kind of hit and miss for him, but lightweight, we'll see. I mean, yeah, featherweight was hit and miss, but lightweight, we'll see. That's where I'm really kind of skeptic right now. I don't want to say he can't, I don't want to say he can, but we'll see. So now let's get on to the pre-fight show for Gonzaga versus Crow Cop. Yeah, I got to go with Michael Bisping on this and say that, yeah, this is a main event heavyweight clash, 5-rounder. I got to go with Gabriel Gonzaga over Mirko Crow Cop in this one. I think Gabriel Gonzaga gets the takedown, gets submission. This isn't going to be a flashy knockout win for either side, like the first fight was, with Gonzaga landing the big kick that we all see clips of constantly in commercials and promos for the UFC. Yeah, I think Gonzaga takes us to the ground, smothers Crow Cop, and eventually gets the submission. First or second round, Gonzaga is just too talented with his jiu-jitsu skills not to think about using that, and Crow Cop, having his kickboxing background, it's one of those things where Gonzaga, I think, he wants to play this one smart, and he wants to get a quick finish on this one, and I think he can. Yeah, Crow Cop, he'll go for probably a flashy knockout, but I think that Gonzaga is just not going to be there to get knocked out. He's going to be busy working the ground. So he'll be on the ground, and they'll throw out Crow Cop's flashy knockouts, and Gonzaga en route to submission victory first or second round. Yeah, then in the co-main event we have a light heavyweight clash with Jimmy Manuwa and Jan Blachowicz. Yeah, Blachowicz. Yeah, long Polish name. And yeah, you know, I gotta go with Jan on this one. I gotta go with Jan because he trains at the better training camps with like the likes of Alliance and whatnot. And Jimmy, you know, Jan will have the height and reach advantage over Jimmy, so Jimmy's not going to be able to use his height and reach. Yeah, so that's how I got this going. Is I think Jan gets it done by he'll get it done by possibly knockout. I gotta say, you know, possibly knockout in the second or third round on this. Hold on. Yeah, looking at the stats, I gotta go with Jan on this one. Yeah, then in the welterweight division, also on the main card, we got Powell Pollock versus Sheldon Westcott, and I got Sheldon Westcott on this one because he was a runner-up on the Ultimate Fighter Nations season, Canada versus Australia, and Sheldon Westcott looked good. Powell, he's been kind of, well, I don't know. I mean, he just doesn't seem to have the tools. He's beat the lesser competition, and yeah, he's had, you know, he's had his moments, but it's just, I think Sheldon's fought the tougher competition, and Powell hasn't fought as big competition. I think that's going to be a difference maker here. Looking at those stats, and so I got Sheldon Westcott winning by decision unanimous on this one. Then in the women's strawweight division, we got Joanne Calderwood and let's see, that is Marina Moros. Yeah, some of these foreign names I gotta double check the pronunciations on these. Yeah, so Moros is a newcomer to the UFC. Joanne Calderwood, she's a veteran. She's fought tough competition, and I think Joanne Calderwood would be smart in this fight, avoid the submissions, Last time I checked, she's a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I think she has really the skills of a purple belt. And I think she'll be smart and avoid the ground game and keep it standing and use her reach, use her height, and get a decision win over Moros. But this is a tough fight because it's battle of the undefeated. You got 9-0 Calderwood versus 5-0 Moros. So this fight could go either way. I gotta say this is probably going to be one of the closest fights on the main card because Moros won a lot of her fights by submission, and I think if it does go to the ground and Joanne's not able to get back up, she could get submitted. Yeah, Moros is definitely a submission specialist, so keep out for this. I think if Moros wins, this will definitely put her in the top in title talks. I mean, how can it not? So we could see a star in the making, or we could see Calderwood rise up to the challenge. So I'll give Calderwood a 51% chance of winning this, and Moros a 49% chance of winning this. Yeah, it's gonna be a close fight. Then, yeah, this main card is pretty stacked as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so yeah, that wraps up the pre-fight show for the main card of Krokop versus Gonzaga. Stay tuned for my next episode, which will be, well, the post-fight show for this. Until then, see ya.